What is going on, Skye Squad? We are back in the building. It's your boy, DJRichieSkye, and we got to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 12, Episode 7. Now, I don't know if I told y'all this last week or not, but this season will only have about 14 episodes. And I don't know if that's going to include the reunion or not. But what I do know is that we've already got the mid-season trailer and we are only on episode 7, which tells me that we're halfway through. Now, I don't know about y'all, but let me tell y'all something. I am here for a 14-episode season of anything. 14 episodes is enough for me to get deep down into the nitty-gritty, for y'all to cut out the filler, and then for me to be excited about the season ending and the next season starting. It just makes so much more sense than these 21 episode series that didn't need to be 21 episodes. Salt Lake City, I'm talking to you. Okay, I'm talking to you. Now, Skye Squad, if you are just coming into the building, again, good morning, good morning, good morning. Go ahead and let me know where you're watching from down in that good chatterization. We're going to get into the episode in just a few minutes. Don't even worry about it. But let us know where you're watching from. In the bushes, baby. You in the bushes. Not the bushes watching, baby. Not the bushes. Come on now. Yes, have a blessed day. Have a good old blessed day. Yes, Bridesmaid. I spelled it right, Bridesmaid. Y'all know where I got that Bridesmaid from. Okay. Hey, Solomon's Island. And listen, go ahead and get that membership going, baby. Go ahead and get that membership going. Click down in the description of this video. You guys can see the membership link, or you can see that join button. And if you're in the chat right now, you got to close the chat, see the join button, and then come back into the chat in order to do it. Bam. Okay. Now, who else? More Jersey, Scotland, Memphis. I see you. Florida, South Carolina, Louisville, Kingston, Jamaica, Trinidad in the building, y'all. New York, I see you, baby. I will be there April 28th with Up and Adam and the gang for their live show. I'm excited. Get me some shopping going on, too. Nola in the Biz Naive. Come on now. We got Alabama in the house. I see you. Norristown, Pennsylvania. Huntsville coming up this weekend. I'm excited about that. I see you, Katy, Texas, Key West, Florida. Hey, Peaches. Come on now, Peaches with the membership, baby. I see you. I see you. Hey, New London, Birmingham, Philly. I see y'all. Let me pull this up for y'all real quick because I got to talk to y'all about this first things first on the list. Okay, first things first on the list. Teresa said, no, Melissa ain't going to be no bridesmaid.
Any of the housewives and your castmates?
No.
Oh,
no.
Yeah,
Wow.
no.
Melissa will not be a bridesmaid.
No.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Does she know that?
Don't make a big deal.
Reactive audience.
Yeah,
That's all.
no.
Can she be a host? Can she not be in the
Will this be news to her hearing this now?
I mean, I guess. Yes,
so.
I guess.
She ain't even know she wasn't gonna be no bridesmaid, but now she do. Okay. Sorry, baby girl, you don't get to make the list. It's only gonna be eight of them on the bridesmaid committee, and it won't be you. Okay. But I will tell you that lessens the chance that she may get some type of wedding spinoff. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see it on the new year, on the new episode next year, next season, because the wedding is happening this summer. But y'all know Jersey usually films in the summertime, so you know we're gonna see it next year. Hey Tracy, thank you so much. Come on now, Sheila. I see you. I see you. Lonnie said a host. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all didn't see this episode or watch What Happens Live, it was one of the most chaotic episodes I have ever seen in a long time. It was almost as good as seeing Jackie and Regina King on there that time. Y'all remember years ago when they was on there. That was some good stuff right there. Now, you're right. I'm sure Melissa don't want to be a bridesmaid, but guess what? If she didn't know that she wasn't, now she does. All right. It was great. It was great. It was great. Shout out to our friends over at the Bravo Housewives on Instagram for reposting this clip. I suggest that if you have not watched last night's episode of Watch What Happens Live, get to stepping after this video. Now, y'all ready to talk about last night's episode? Okay, let's talk about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, y'all know how we do it on this channel. We always rate the episode, okay? 1 being the lowest. I ain't gave not nay one since I've been doing these reviews. I have a feeling one day it's coming, but You got to be real low down and dirty and into the ground in order for me to give you a 1, okay? But then 10 being the highest. I need y'all to let me know what you would rate this episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, episode 7. And I'm going to tell y'all what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a 7. I got to give it a 7. You know, previous episodes of The Real Housewives of New Jersey had been pretty much explosive. Like, I mean, there have been some really heated moments and confrontations, and I'm giving it a 7 because I know that we have quite a few more confrontations and explosions that are set to come in the next few episodes. So for me, you know, because when they give me these type of little episodes, I gotta, you know, I can't give it the high rating that I want to rate it. Okay. And we're gonna talk about Ticket getting down and dirty last night on the episode, or this morning if you saw it like me. Come on now, Ticket Barber. Easter, hey baby. Welcome to the membership. Welcome to the squad. Okay, welcome to the squad. All right. Now, yeah, Ticket did get down into the thing last night, so I almost kind of want to give it a 7.5 to see one of the men folk getting down into the juice, but I ain't gonna give it to him yet because I feel like honestly he could have done a little more if he wanted. If you really wanted to be known, he could have done a little more, but he did enough last night to get himself on Teresa's bad side. All right. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Now, let's get into it. We pick up from last week where Bill had left the restaurant and Frank wants to go running up after him. Now, Bill blames Teresa for all the Evan shenanigans and says Jen is just getting the blowback. No, Bill. Jen was doing some diggerization and she was trying to get photographs and locations of the woman that was alleged to have been cheating with that good Evan. Okay. But, you know, this is the one time he's defended his wife. So we're going to take it. Okay. We're going to take this one right here. He says he's done and he leaves. The guys just want him to tell his wife, stop it, woman. Stop digging around on folks and be nice to the ladies. Okay. Now, Frank thinks that any of them would defend their wives, and he right, and then they take some shots. Cue for Lewis to arrive, and he got to take shots too. They tell him about Bill leaving, and then Teresa calls to check in on her man because she don't want them, you know, messing around with him. So she got to call in and make sure that things is going smoothly because she will be down there in 2 seconds if she felt like he was in the midst of some trouble. Okay. Now, the guys tell him to put her on speakerphone, and she's telling them, and she's laying down the law for Joe Gorga. Y'all better not be messing with my man right now, okay? So then he gets off the phone with Teresa, and he's raving about her being the apple of his eye, the light of his life, the heart to his beat, okay? And Joe asked him, well, man, do you got a past? No, Joe, I ain't got no past. Of course he got a past. Hello, we didn't see it on the internet. And he says, because we've all heard stuff about you. And he's pointing over there at Joe, at Margaret's Joe, because, you know, Margaret's Joe be doing the gossiping too. And then Ticket comes along. So Ticket says basically this. Man, so tell us about the physical violence that we've been hearing all this stuff about, because my wife has a lot of questions about this physical violence, and I want to know, was you engaged in any of the physical violence? Let me know right now. Ticky, boom, boom. Said, let me, you know what? Let me take my gloves off, hold my beer. Let me get up into the mess right now. Let me ask the questions that ain't nobody gonna ask, okay? Too bad it wasn't enough to make his wife a full-time housewife. Anyway, Lewis says, ain't no truth to the physical stuff. And he says, and there's a rumor that his ex poked her ex with the butcher knife, okay? So, and he says that he stayed with her after he heard these rumors, because he didn't want to believe it, and he wasn't strong enough to leave. Okay. So Joe Gorga is like, okay, well, listen, if I want to stay in my sister's life, I gotta basically accept you. So I'm going to accept you and roll with this. But if I hear something about, you doing something crazy to my sister, it's on. And with that, they take another shot. Okay. Now, Tiki, his involvement in the mess is going to come back to haunt Tracy later. Trust and believe. Okay. And remember, I said this on today, March 16th at 11:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Because Teresa is not going to let this go. And mind you, I don't even know that I would tell this story about this ex allegedly poking her ex with a knife, because I just feel like it make you look crazy for staying with her. But I digress, okay? And the story had better been true, because now, if it's not, and she realized that he talking about her, I don't know. Can you sue for something like that? I don't know. The next day, half the guys can barely recover. Lewis threw up twice. And everybody is talking with their wives. So Joe Gorga is talking to Melissa. Evan is talking to Jackie. Joe Benigno, or whatever his last name is. I apologize that I cannot pronounce his name. I wish it was just Josephs, so that way I could just call him Joe Josephs. And in fact, that's what I'm gonna call him, because I don't know his last name. It starts with a B and it ends with a, I don't know. Anyway, they all bring up Tiki asking Lewis about the alleged abuse. And the ladies say that most of the ladies feel like, well, when Lewis told that story about his ex poking the other ex with the knife, they feel like he was just trying to deflect from his allegations by putting allegations on to her to make himself seem like the victim. Now, Joe is concerned that this is going to be his brother-in-law, but in my mind, I was thinking, don't worry, you might not even be invited to the wedding, because now we know your sister, your wife is not going to be a bridesmaid. So, it's up in the air whether or not you can come to the wedding or not. Okay. And you better act right, because if you say one more word, you probably won't even be invited to that. All right. Now, anyway, Teresa is annoyed that Tiki is asking questions on behalf of Tracy, because she don't even know Tracy. Tracy barely even go here. So why is she asking anything of her husband for her husband to be asking Lewis? You barely got invited to the party. Actually, you weren't invited that much because you are only a friend. Okay. So Teresa wants Tracy to back the F up, and she's going to protect her love bubble with whatever she can and however she can. Meanwhile, Joe Josephs and Margaret Josephs get into the Bill and Evan of it all. And Evan feels like he kind of wants to make amends with Bill, because, he was a little hyped up on the shots or whatever. But Jackie and Jackie and Evan both agree that Jennifer is a disaster. Okay, that's what they say. Meanwhile, Jen and Bill are recapping what happened from the night before. Honestly, as I take a look around at Jennifer's house and the backyard pool and the slip and slide and everything that they got going on in their house, I don't even know that I would want to be hanging out with these girls, because I would never want to leave my house. Did y'all see that pool? I want a pool like that at my house, because I guarantee if I had a pool like that in my backyard, I don't care what y'all say about me, I'm going to be living in the lap of luxury. But Jen is mad, okay? She's still a little mad, but she is happy that the man kind of defended her and left. But she does confront him about his silence, when the people be coming after her, okay? and not showing up for her. And he admits that he is not a perfect human, and he's just not able to show emotions in the way that she wants him to do. And so she is disappointed and she is feeling alone. Okay, Bill, you're gonna have to do better than this. Okay, you are the reason why she is in this mess in the first place. And you are quite lucky that she never did lay you out 10 years ago when she should have laid you out. And you're lucky that she stayed with you all of this long, because you not only had the physical affair, you had an emotional affair. See, the physical affair, I feel like, is probably a little bit easier to get over because that was not probably a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, in the heat of a moment. But if you was having an emotional affair with somebody, that's a whole different story, because ain't no telling what you was doing for this lady. Not that I know anything, because I don't. But what I'm saying is my mind is wondering, okay, and I'm sure Jennifer's mind is now starting to wonder too, because she didn't bury this stuff deep down in the dank backyards of her, in the recesses of her mind. So now all of this stuff is coming back up to the surface. The least you could do is sit around and talk with her about it and let her commiserate in the way that she want to commiserate, because you are looking very selfish, sir. Very selfish, okay? Meanwhile, Dolores is back in her moderately finished home that the kids are staying in, that Frank had worked on. He ain't finished it yet, but it's livable enough for them kids to go live in that house and not be in her townhouse that she rented. And I don't know why she still got the townhouse, but I guess it's just for her own sanity. I don't know. Anyway, the mama, okay, is in the hospital with David, who is talking to everybody else except for her, but she just got to suck it up because the man is taking care of her mama. But let me tell you something. After the mama get well, I would definitely lay him out too, okay? Now, anyway, Marge and Lexi, the assistant, called to check in on Dolores and her mom, and then Margaret suggests a spa day. You know, one thing I feel like is not very clear, or maybe it's just not clear to me, is how close Margaret and Dolores actually are. And this is a friendship I feel like they need to explore a little deeper, or at least show the audience a bit more, because as they talk about it, we never really quite understand it. At least I don't feel like they're that close. But seeing moments like this did help me understand. Okay, y'all are a little closer than what y'all, what we thought y'all were. Okay, because y'all just saying that y'all are close, but now we actually seeing it. And that's maybe a production point. Production. In order for, I know you're only giving us 14 episodes, so you can't dive too much into everything. But when we're talking about character development, these are aspects of friendships that we need to see. Okay. Meanwhile, Margaret ain't gonna invite Jennifer to the spa day, and Dolores is fine with that because she I don't feel like being stressed with this whole situation. Teresa is in her glam room / bathroom getting ready, and she about to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of her union / betrothment / romance / whatever it is with Louis. Okay, Louis, whatever his name is. She chatting with her daughters, but Gia admits that she's been very skeptical of this whole situation with Louis. But Teresa equates the things that she's hearing about Louis to her own past, where she has had to go away for a while to the camp, And so she says, well, basically, I understand her rationale. She's saying to herself, well, listen, for me, she had been to the clink, okay? And so if he can look past her being in the clink, she may be able to look past a couple of things from his past too. Okay, so I get it. I get it. I think that Teresa desperately wants love, and I think that he is giving her everything that she needs, whether or not it's love bombing or not. What I do know is she is head over heels for this man, and if he treating her right, I'm okay with it for the most part. But I do believe that she should keep her eyes open, and she should definitely go into this situation with some type of prenuptial agreement if she is as smart as she claims she is. Okay. Gia recounts how much their family has been through, and we see a flashback of Joe Giudice calling Teresa his little bitch wife or whatever, and I'm still mad about that seasons later. So I feel like she should have left his butt then, but sometimes it just ain't that easy to get a divorce. Okay. Anyway, Teresa feels like her parents who have passed sent Louis to her, and her daughters are looking like, well, I mean, I don't know if I believe all that, but whatever. Melissa cooking for the kids. We learned that Antonia, her daughter, had to switch schools because Melissa and Joe like to buy new houses and things, and they wanted to move the kids to a new district because of the boys playing football. Antonia tore her ACL, so she ain't been able to cheer, and she ain't been right ever since. She is slightly depressed in a new school, turning 16, missing her friends, and she is just going through the angst of adolescence, in addition to having to move, in addition to tearing her ACL so she couldn't cheer. She going through it. So it's just a tough time over at the GORGA household, okay? Now, Teresa heads out on her anniversary date. We learned that he sent a driver to pick her up. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. If this man is, I'm going to tell you, I understand why she is blinded by the love and affection that this man is throwing her way. Please send me a driver for the date, okay? Send me a driver for the date, okay? Send me a driver. Send me a driver, please. Thank you very much. Never mind, we live together. Anyway, but what I was about to say is, you know, when you first dating somebody and they doing all these things and they whining you and dining you, it is definitely hard to see past all of that, okay? So I understand why she feeling the way that she feeling, you know? I really, really do. He arranged a boat dinner for her on a yacht with the Kenny G saxophone player. Side note, we learned Teresa also played the saxophone. I played too, okay? Teresa, were you first chair? I was. How about that, okay? Anyway, so the saxophone player playing, the wind is blowing, and Louis says, you know what? A card just wouldn't do. A card just would not do. A card wouldn't do. So you know what? Here is a scroll of all the reasons that I love you. 1 through 20. Take a look at this scroll. Actually, saxophone player, can you stop playing that saxophone for a minute and come over here and hold this scroll for me? Don't you see him trying to impress my woman? And so he starts to reading about how fierce and loyal and honest and good and decent and kind and important she is. And she is just lapping it up, baby. She is lapping it up. And I definitely know that Judice won't doing all of these things for her. He was running around behind the bushes calling her a bitch. But Teresa said this man ain't never said an unkind word to her, okay? So let me tell you something. If you come out and you bring a scroll for me, and I ain't never had no love like that before, I'm going to be head over heels in love with you too, okay? I is, okay? It might seem corny, but I'm sure she is lapping it up, okay? Lapping it up, all right? Meanwhile, okay, Margaret rents out the whole spa with an amazing charcuterie board spread, okay? Because you know I love a charcuterie board. Give me some meats and some cheese any day, and I am happy, okay? Anyway, Team Margaret arrives, and whenever I say Team Margaret, y'all know who I mean. I mean Melissa. I mean Jackie. I mean Tracy, the extra. I mean now even Dolores ain't got there yet, but Dolores about to be Team Margaret too, because I don't even know if Dolores was invited to the wedding. Was she? I don't know. I heard that her and Teresa ain't speaking like that. Anyway, Teresa arrives all smiles because it was her anniversary, and I'm sure she got some last night. Okay, you better get some after somebody bring out a scroll telling you all the things why they like you. Okay, probably did something on that boat. I would. Anyway, so they all ask about the anniversary, and you know, when she goes to change, they start to gossiping about the guys' night and what Louis said about his ex. And Melissa wants to stay on Teresa's good side. Melissa, it's too late. You're not a bridesmaid, so it don't matter. But anyway, Melissa wants to stay on Teresa's good side, so she and Joe agreed not to sling any mud Lewis's way. So hopefully they can still be invited to the wedding, even though she's not going to be a bridesmaid. And so anyway, she knows the rest of them, if they know what's good for her, they need to leave Teresa alone about Lewis because she is going to flip her lid at some point. But Marge ain't scared. Okay, Marge ain't scared, and she still got some stuff to say. They then get into the Jennifer and Bill of it all, right as Teresa arrives. Teresa thought that Jennifer was coming, and so she asked her if she was coming, but then she realized Jennifer wanted the text message thread. And the lady said that they did not invite Jennifer because Jennifer kicked them out of their home. That's fair. Okay, that's fair. Tracy then says Jen is miserable in her marriage and she is projecting. And Teresa is like, you just met Jen. Actually, you just got here. Actually, you are hanging on by a thread, girl, because I don't even know what your contract say. If it say official housewife or just a friend. So why are you commenting on a situation that you know nothing about? Okay. So anyway, Teresa says, look, in her confessional, she says Lewis was fine with Ticket asking all them questions, but she's gonna let it go for now, only for Dolores. And I told y'all, when Tracy gonna get it soon enough. Okay. Then Dolores arrives. They ask about her mama. And we learn her mama can't be alone because she's in danger of having a heart attack. Poor Dolores. Jackie, Teresa, and Dolores then head out for their spa services. Melissa, Marge, and Tracy gossip about David and Dolores and how he's treating her. Then they talk about Antonia. And then Melissa reflects on having to move to Florida so she understands how Antonia feels. Yada, yada, yada. Melissa, Tracy, and Margaret leave. And then Teresa asks what Dolores and Jackie think about Tracy, because Teresa thinks she's too much and she's really annoyed that Ticket is asking questions about Lewis. Jackie tries to tell her that, well, Teresa, Tracy is just like you in that she is very straightforward. Okay. Teresa then says, well, Tracy was going after Jennifer and she just met her. Jackie's like, well, Jennifer comes after people. And Teresa says, well, Margaret comes after people too. Okay, how about that? Cue Margaret walking up with her group. And Margaret's like, what are y'all talking about? I heard y'all was talking about me. Okay. Basically, Margaret says Jennifer takes things too far. And Teresa claps back and says, you take things too far too by revealing Bill's affair to everybody. And then Margaret is like, well, Jennifer was being a hypocrite, and so I had to let her know you can't be a hypocrite about me because your husband did the same thing I did. Okay. Dolores says, yes, Jennifer is a hypocrite. We all know that. But she is hurting right now. So Margaret, somebody in this situation is going to have to eat a little bit of crow in order to make things right with the group. AKA Margaret, you're going to have to go and have a little ponderosa with Jennifer and make things all right. Okay. But y'all know Margaret is a little bit heartless when it comes to Jennifer. So I hope that Jennifer don't start crying again, because Margaret is sure enough going to ask her, what you crying for? Because you know she did that last time. Anyway, we see Jennifer meeting with her brother, Steven. They talk about the Bill situation, and he tells her that she's still dealing with stuff now that she should have dealt with 10 years ago back then. We learn now that Bill don't want to go to therapy, even though he put her through this trauma. Okay, we can blame Margaret, we can blame anybody that we want to blame, but at the end of the day, this is a Bill situation, and he need to make this thing right with his wife at this point. It is really his responsibility to help heal this situation, and all she wants to do is go to the counseling. And the least you can do, Bill, is go sit your behind down in the counseling chair the same way you laid yourself down and spread it wide 10 years ago, back with whomever it was that was working and y'all was doing. Okay, so you can at least sit yourself down for a little while, for a little bit, and let this woman vent her feelings and cry and get it all out so that y'all can move on and be happy and go splash around in that pool. Okay, now anyway, he says, now this is a red flag for me. Jennifer says that Bill doesn't want to go to therapy because he's afraid that they're going to open up Pandora's box and tell each other things that they can't come back from. What you got to say, Bill? Are you unhappy? Okay, are you unhappy? Is that what you are afraid of? What are you afraid of, man? You shouldn't be afraid to have no conversations with your wife at this point, especially about some things that you did in your past. That sounds real punk and cowardly like to me, to be honest with you. And so anyway, now Jennifer is questioning her marriage, as you should, woman, as you should, okay? Because he's unwilling to face the issues. Jennifer, let me tell you something. This is a huge red flag. So you need to go ahead and make his butt go to therapy. Okay, at this point, bring the therapist to the house. All right, because that's a red flag for me. It's a red flag for me. Let me tell you something. If my significant other says I want us to go to therapy because I don't like how you put your leg on me every night, guess where I'm going? I'm going to therapy. If my significant other say to me, I don't like that you don't take out the trash on Mondays when the trash people come in, guess who going to therapy? Me, okay? If my significant other say, I don't like that you don't drive the speed limit, guess who going to therapy? Me. Why? Because really, the key is make your spouse happy, okay? Just do whatever you got to do to make your spouse happy. Going to therapy is not going to hurt you, okay? It is not going to hurt you. That's the least that you could do after putting her through 10 years of trauma that she's been suffering through, and it's been sitting in the back of her mind, marinating in a cesspool of doubt and disbelief and anger, okay? Let her vent her feelings out in a way that's productive so that the two of y'all can go on and move beyond this and show other couples that they can get through infidelity as well, because it's not uncommon. You ain't the first. You ain't the only person that's done it. Go ahead and sit down and express how you feel and how you felt that day and why you did what you did and get it on out the way. Okay? That's it. That's all I got for y'all on this situation. This show thrills me. It does. It does. It thrills me. It does. I likes it. I likes it. I do. Okay, y'all. That's all I got. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you guys for sticking around as I got my feelings off of my chest about this whole situation. And hopefully you got your feelings out too. Okay? Y'all know I love y'all. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Okay? Now be good to yourselves. All right?